Throughout a galaxy far, far away, there is no sight more terrifying than the imposing black armor of Darth Vader. His very presence sends shivers down the spines of beings across the stars, from the smallest Ewok to the most battle-hardened Trandoshan. But what lies beneath this legendary armor, beyond its ability to inspire fear in every living creature? What secrets does it hold? What advanced technology is hidden within this suit? And does it serve a purpose beyond keeping its wearer alive? Well, recently, while on a routine Lore Tours flight to the planet of Batuu, one of our vessels happened across a First Order ship, and never one to pass up a bit of looting and plunder. Our captain boarded the vessel, sneaking into the quarters of a rather moody Force user, and as they made their daring escape, our captain managed to snag the remnants of one of Vader's old suits, bringing it back to base ready for our Lore Tours R&D team to break down and analyze this iconic piece of Sith technology for you today. First and foremost, this suit is a life support system. It's the only thing keeping Vader alive after the catastrophic injuries he suffered during his fateful duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar. During that battle, Vader's remaining 3 limbs were severed, his lungs were scorched by the hot ash of the volcanic planet, his eyes damaged by the intense heat, and his skin burnt to a crisp as the remnants of his Jedi robes caught fire. To save what was left of Anakin Skywalker, the newly crowned Emperor Palpatine turned to an immortal doctor and cybernetics genius named Silo. Tasked with preserving Vader's life, Silo built the suit that would eventually come to sustain him. The most distinctive and arguably crucial part of Vader's armor was the helmet, and it was divided into 3 layers. Made of plasteel, a material often used in armor production, designed to absorb impacts and provide additional protection. Durasteel, the same material used in the construction of starships, ensuring the helmet's resilience in the harshest of conditions. And an obsidian alloy, rumored to be imbued with the dark side of the Force itself. The first and most fundamental part of the helmet is the neck gaiter, which protects and supports Vader's damaged neck. This section is integrated with feeding tubes, which are part of a complex network that runs throughout this suit. These tubes pump nutrients directly into Vader's body, while simultaneously removing waste, ensuring that Vader can gain nutrients without having to remove his helmet to eat. Next up is the mask itself, which was primarily designed to compensate for Vader's damaged respiratory system and scorched vocal cords. A built-in enunciator linked to an electronic voice processor transformed his ruined voice into the deep, commanding tone that strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. For his impaired vision, the mask features specialized lenses that calibrate colors and enhance Vader's field of view. These lenses not only correct his weakened eyesight, but also provide a suite of additional visual enhancements. They filter light to protect his damaged retinas, allow him to see in infrared and ultraviolet spectrums, and even present a heads-up display. This HUD could supply Vader with critical data, such as atmospheric readings and other environmental data, directly overlaying it onto his vision. The respirator system, with an air pump located at the top of the mask, forces air into Vader's scarred lungs, producing the infamous raspy breathing that echoes through the halls of Imperial starships. This system is robust enough to allow Vader to survive for short periods in the vacuum of space, or even underwater, as long as the onboard air supply holds out. Moreover, the helmet helps regulate Vader's body temperature, maintaining the delicate balance needed to keep him alive in a variety of environments. Finally, securing all these elements together is the helmet shell, which is based on an ancient Sith design. The shell is locked into place via a pressurized seal, magnetically securing the helmet's components and ensuring their alignment. Once the helmet is on, neural needles painfully plug into Vader's spine and neck, linking him directly to his central control panel. This connection feeds brainwave activity to his cybernetic limbs, making the helmet not just a piece of armor, but an integral part of his ability to move. As we descend from Vader's helmet to his torso, the integration of technology with his broken body becomes even more apparent. His cybernetic limbs, directly connected to his helmet via the neural needles, are powered by advanced servo motors that can grant him superhuman strength and durability. These mechanized arms allow Vader to lift objects far heavier than a normal human could manage, and with the mere squeeze of his mechanized hands, he can crush anything from a lightsaber to the throat of his enemies. Covering these cybernetic limbs is a multiply body glove, designed to protect Vader's sensitive, burned skin. The body glove is fireproof and capable of withstanding concussive blasts. It also shields him from environmental dangers and contaminants. Vader's torso is guarded by an armoured Durasteel breastplate, while a plastoid girdle offers additional protection to his abdomen. In the old Star Wars Legends continuity, there's even more detail about this section of the armour. His cloak, for instance, is described as being made of armour weave, a material that can dissipate the force of blaster bolts and even lightsaber strikes. Supporting this heavy armour is extra reinforcement for Vader's weakened spine, as during his reconstruction, some of his damaged spine had to be replaced with artificial components. This reinforcement ensures that Vader can bear the immense weight of his armour without succumbing to its burden. At the heart of Vader's armour lies the iconic control box, prominently displayed on his chest. It features 3 slots on one side, each corresponding to different diagnostic cards. The top slot for neural systems data, the center for respiratory systems data, and the bottom for circulatory systems data. These cards likely play a key role in the suit's monthly maintenance, feeding back crucial information to ensure the suit functions perfectly. The control box is equipped with various switches and buttons, each serving a vital function. The blue or sometimes green button at the top activates the suit's auto-control functions. Below it, the red button activates the manual override. The rightmost switch at the bottom acts as a system reset, and along the bottom edge of the control box are programming touch plates, while on either side 2 shafts serve as life function sensor arrays. Further down, Vader's belt is another crucial component in his life support system. It features 3 metal boxes, the middle one being an electromagnetic clasp, which basically just holds the belt together. The right box houses the respiratory control system, vital for regulating Vader's breathing, while the left box manages the suit's temperature control system, ensuring that his body remains at the optimal temperature regardless of the environment. As we move further down the suit, we find Vader's cybernetic legs. Armoured to withstand glancing blows from a lightsaber, these legs ensure that Vader remains unstoppable on the battlefield, even when faced with rough and rugged terrain, or stairs. At the base of these cybernetic limbs are Vader's feet, and they're equipped with magnetic clamps that allow Vader to cling to starship hulls, metallic surfaces, and other precarious environments where most beings would struggle to maintain their footing. Throughout the entire suit, a network of embedded circuitry and sensors constantly monitor Vader's vitals, feeding real-time data back to the centralized computer housed within his armor. Additionally, the suit's onboard computer system grants Vader the ability to communicate with his allies and access Imperial records directly. So when you put all these elements together, you have a truly imposing set of armor, weighing in at 120 kilograms, about 265 pounds, and standing at 2.02 meters tall, around 6 foot 8 inches. With its skull-like visage crafted into the helmet, the suit is designed to strike fear into the hearts of all who see it. The mere sight of Vader draped in his ominous armor is enough to quell rebellions and silence opposition across the galaxy. But beneath the terrifying facade of Darth Vader's armor lies a surprising truth, one that hints at an ulterior motive behind its design. Despite being worn by one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, the quality of this armor was, well, shockingly poor. In fact, it was described as junk by the droid crush pirates of Bestoon, viewing it as a suit cobbled together from standard cheap parts. Not only was the armor subpar, but it was also incredibly painful to wear. The neural needles implanted throughout Vader's body inflicted constant excruciating pain. And despite the cybernetic limbs that bore much of the suit's heavy weight, the armor remained a claustrophobic and restrictive prison. severely limiting Vader's range of movement. The only moments of relief he ever really experienced were when he submerged himself in his Bacta tank, where the soothing liquid eased his burned and scarred body, or in his pressurized, climate-controlled meditation chambers. In these rare moments he could breathe freely without the suit and even eat solid food, simple acts that were impossible while encased in his armor. But the suit had another, more embarrassing drawback. It was relatively easy to hack if you had the right skills. Dr. Aphra, a rogue archaeologist, once exploited this vulnerability to send falsified communications directly from Vader's suit, manipulating the Sith Lord's image for her own ends. So the question arises, why was this suit of such poor quality, especially for someone as powerful as Darth Vader? Well, the answer lies in the insidious design of the suit. The isolation it imposed on Vader, coupled with the constant pain it inflicted upon him, served to make Vader stronger in the dark side of the Force, as Vader was forced to draw upon the dark side almost constantly to help cope with his agony, which only really deepened his connection to it. This torment became both a source of power and a method of control, as Palpatine, ever the cunning master, had another reason for this uncomfortable design. He knew that, like all Sith apprentices before him, Vader would one day seek to overthrow his master. The suit therefore acted as a subtle means to weaken Vader. Physically, it made him vulnerable. His mechanical limbs rendered him incapable of resisting Force lightning, and if Palpatine were capable of sufficiently damaging the suit, Vader would be completely incapacitated. Politically, the suit was just as effective. Encased in this monstrous armor, Vader was feared and reviled across the galaxy, a figure most beings would be reluctant to ally with or support. This ensured that Vader's power remained isolated, reducing the likelihood of a successful rebellion against Palpatine. So in the end, while the suit did make Vader a symbol of terror, it also shackled him, binding him to the dark side, to his pain, and ultimately to the will of his master. And that wraps up our deep dive into the twisted, powerful and tragic design of Darth Vader's armor. But we want to hear from you. What would you add to the suit? What other secrets or upgrades do you think could be part of Vader's gear? And what should we cover next? Make sure to let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this gadget guidebook, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on our next adventure. Until then, catch you next time.